Sugar Plum. Hello, what's up?
Hey.
It's Xbox Nation. Yes, it's Wednesday night, just past 8, the top of the hour, the bewitching hour. Ooh, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, so anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about. I managed to pry some people away from gaming because when new games come out, people want to play them. Surprise, surprise, right?
Yeah.
It takes dedication to get them people in this show because there's a lot of talk about, and I was like, hey, we do got some cool stuff to talk about, and people maybe want to know about Tomb Raider and some stuff like that. So we're going to talk about all these cool topics and more. And first, let me talk about the man, the myth, the New York Giants fan.
Oh man. It's all right. It's only week 1, folks.
What's up? Oh, week 1 is the week that matters the least unless your team wins 47-3.
That's true.
And then week 1 is the best week.
Let's talk about some positives here, Crap. Okay, we're in 2018. It's the generation of options. It's also the generation of silver linings. My Giants lost, but your Joe Flacco got me so many points. I won my week in fantasy football.
I told you.
Sports.
And then, you know what's funny, dude?
Yes.
They pulled him basically right after halftime. So he did that basically in one half. So
he won me. He won me this week. So my hat goes off to the Baltimore Ravens. I thank you, Crap, for all that talking you've been doing in the summer.
I told you they lit a fire under him, man. He was going to go out there and go, man.
But let me make Foxy happy. Let me make Foxy happy because she's going to get upset. It's too much sport talk right now. I do want to say this much. There's a lot of games, and the fact that you said what you said is absolutely on topic, Crap. There's so many games. And I'm finding myself a bit like rattled, right? I'm falling behind in Destiny. I'm playing greatness. And I've got the beta to Blackout, which I am so excited to talk to you and Fox about because it's going to be huge.
You're right.
We are, Salty. We're winning this one, buddy. We're taking this one to the promised land. There's so many games out there. And then Rise of the Tomb Raiders out there as well. Crap, very exciting night. Let's get to it after the panel intros. Yeah,
and we got a Salty one here. What's up, Salty? How's it going, man? You feeling better this week? I know last week wasn't.
Yeah. I'm good to go. I'm excited to get into topics. I gave up on the NFL. My Cardinals they suck too much, it's been too many years. I just can't do it anymore.
You guys had those couple of years with Kurt Warner. I mean, those are decent. So
yeah, we're back to the sucking, So
yeah, trust me, dude. I know all about that, man. And we also got Foxy. What's up, Fox? How you doing? You feeling better?
Yeah, I'm awesome. Play Tomb Raider. Just healed all of everything. I was feeling kind of yesterday. Plays with Spidey, that was nice. But then today it was just like amazing. I got revived.
Amazing, you say?
Yes, it was amazing.
Is it spectacular?
Yes, all the words. All the words.
Because those are Spider-Man.
Awesome. Amazing. Good.
Great.
But yeah, what a way to start. We're already starting with sports. Come on, guys. Don't do this to me.
No, we're doing gaming.
Sports in the chat.
Hey, John Doe. He says, crap, I hate Xbox. Just kidding. I have an Xbox One X. He spent $2 to say that. Thank you, my friend. With $14.99. Thanks, Ben. You're a kick-ass moderator. We definitely appreciate you, bro. Thank you guys so much for that. And make sure you guys get into the like button early and often. Share it out to YouTube and all that kind of good stuff because it's going to be a damn good show. So anyway, there's a lot of cool stuff to talk about. First of all, I want to talk about, we'll get into the Tomb Raider stuff here in a minute. I want to talk about the Forza Horizon 4 demo. That just came out today, just out of nowhere, 27 gigs. Wow, like Mooch. Here's my problem with this. They don't even hype this up whatsoever, right?
That's Microsoft.
Yes. And then so I see it on the dash and I click on the dash to get to it. Yeah. And it takes me to buy the game. Like I have to do like an in-depth search for the demo to get the demo. And I thought, that was a little bit kind of weird to me. Like, holy crap. They obviously have a lot of faith in this game because the reviews for this game are going to go out way early, but ahead of the game. Mm-hmm. They're going to be phenomenal. People are like, I have not seen such hype for a game from Microsoft in forever. Like this game is going to be probably 90 plus Metacritic and people are just going to go nuts over it. Right. But why don't you advertise it?
Well, first of all, let's get to that. I'd like to refer to that as part B. Part A is I tweeted out, and a lot of people agreed with me. I got a lot of likes on it. Is as much as I'm excited, and I got to tell you something, I truly am excited for Forza Horizon 4. I've decided to not download the demo because, to be honest with you, crap, I love my favorite part of Forza. And anybody that's listening right now to a Forza fan, hear me out. My favorite part of the game is how they go, okay, and they let you get behind, it kind of goes from that third-person view into the cockpit, and off you go. You're driving, and the music kicks on. They always pick a great inspirational tune, and you go through, and you enjoy it, and I crank the tunes. I mean, I crank it as loud as the headphones or the surround system can handle it, and I play it, and I don't want to lose that in a demo. This is a me problem. I don't need to know that Playground Games makes an outstanding game. I don't need to play it right now.
Fair enough.
And don't get me wrong. This is also not one of those mooch moments where I'm telling you did it wrong if you didn't. No, if you can't wait and this is your jam, you go for it. But I'm just saying to you, if you're amped like I am and you can't wait to play that first, because listen, I don't play this thing for, crap's like I played 100 hours. I do every track 3 times. I go in reverse. No. Okay, I don't go in reverse. Okay, here's my thing. I play it about maybe 10 to 15 hours maximum. So I really value those first 10 hours with the game, and I'm going to enjoy it. Now, getting back to your point, Microsoft, for some reason, has all the money in the world right now, and they're buying every single developer that's out there. I'm just waiting for the Don to come on one of the shows and be like, I bet I'm absorbed by Microsoft.
Yes, right? No, and my first game is Mud Trucks 2.
Mud Trucks 2 by the Don. I want to see a lot of E's and D-O-O-O-O-N's. But listen.
Kiss the Ring production.
Right, Kiss the Ring production. Great. That's fantastic. But for some reason, there's not enough money in their budget to get someone who can make a commercial. And I don't know what the problem is over there in Redmond. But this grassroots thing, with the just people talking about it on Twitter, and a lot of people were complaining about the fact that they had to click on something. Do you know how long it took me? And a lot of people, by the way, so don't just go off on mooch on this, guys. Realistically, do you know how long it took me to find the Forsaken DLC? Now, there's multiple versions. The one that's just the $100 one pops right up, by the way. Thanks, Xbox. Appreciate that. I didn't want that one. I wanted the one with Cade's cachet or whatever it is that he comes with all this stuff. And I wanted the one that has like more of the skins and it gives you the whole banner system. That's like the $80 version. You have to search high and low. I think you even have to put a hieroglyphic in the search to find it. It's unbelievably hidden. And a lot of people were complaining that the demo was hidden today, crap. So first and foremost, I want to hear what the panel's got to say. But realistically, they've got to work on marketing. And for God's sake, Microsoft, hire somebody from Google to come over and work on your search engine. Thank you. My God, it's terrible. Right?
Holy shit.
What do you
I'm only having water, too. Lord.
Why are you talking so loud, Mooch?
I don't know. I got my mic on blast.
Oh, my goodness.
I hope everybody's ears are okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew the Forza demo was coming because I think Tim told me last night because he saw the advertisement first because I guess Australia, I don't know, they're in the future, right? So I knew that was coming, and so when, like I told you earlier, I was installing Tomb Raider and editing my video, whatever. Yeah. I just went to the store. I scrolled down to demos, and it was right there. So I don't know what happened because everybody was having issues, and I just went to the store. I just scrolled down and then into set demos, and I just downloaded it. So for me, it wasn't an issue. But I do understand if it's hard for people to find stuff in the store. There's just so many layers on top of layers, so that's understandable. But yeah, I think with the advertisement, you guys are completely right. They suck at that, so they don't advertise anything outside of just their tweets or their YouTube channel, and they need to go outside that. And yeah, Twitch is fine and Mixer is fine, but that's where all the gamers are. So obviously we're gonna see it. But for outsiders, people don't know what's happening. So nobody, like some of my friends didn't even know Tomb Raider was out, and Xbox has marketing rights for that. So all the commercials should be on Xbox to be showing those off. My friends didn't even know that was coming out today.
Yeah.
Or the Croft edition or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. So, I mean, like the Tomb Raider thing is weird too, because they actually opened that up to everybody. Like if you had the Croft edition pre-ordered, you were to get it 2 days early. Right, but they apparently they opened it for everybody, and Why I Don't Care says, "Why are you yelling, Mooch? $2."
It's so great. That's like the new thing, right? Mooch maniacs even write me. They'll write me on Twitter. Sometimes I write something. They're like, "Mooch, why are you yelling?"
Yeah, exactly. Why are you yelling, Mooch? What about you, Salty? Did you find any problems with trying to get this Forza Horizon thing?
Hey, I just got to tell you guys, coming from a guy that isn't a racing fan, the moment I started Forza Horizon 4 up, I hopped in the car. I got an insta boner. It's one of those things where you just know, you know.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm gonna look away now. Okay.
Phenomenal. This game is outstanding, and I know Mooch doesn't want to spoil it, but I spoiled it. It's like someone coming up to me and saying, "Hey, we'll give you inside look to a new movie I want to see, the next Star Wars coming up." Of course, I'm gonna go take that sneak peek. You know, like. That's just what I'm going to do.
It's tempting there, Salt. Dangle the carrot out there, buddy. I can't blame you.
Trust me, Mooch. Like the 60 frames. So I did the whole thing where you hop in the car, you drive, they show you all the seasons. I'm getting chills down my back. And then I realized, I was like, damn, I didn't put it in performance mode. So I exit out of it. I change the settings. I turn it on again, do it again. And it's like, smooth. It is so awesome. It's awesome. You can run through the walls break up, like all kinds of things that I noticed that aren't in Forza Horizon 3 that's going to make this game. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say it's going to be a juicy 95 to 96 Metacritic.
Dang, that is crazy. I see. I'm more in the 92 range myself, but I wouldn't discount what you're saying because I've heard like things.
Herds of sheep going on. Like I was driving, herds of sheep are going on, then they have to scatter. You drive by, dirt bikes flipping around, having this like trails behind them. Awesome. It's awesome.
So wait, now, Salty, explain, myself personally who hasn't played it, and there's probably some people in the chat that haven't played it. When you say you tried the 60 and the 4K, can you explain what the visuals were different and ultimately where did you feel more comfortably playing the game?
All right. So like I said before, when I was playing, it looked phenomenal. You could tell right away there's a visual upgrade when you're playing just in the 4K mode. Yeah. So it looks visually an improvement from Forza Horizon 3, but the 60 frames mode, the 1080 60, it's just a smoothness. Like it's hard to explain. Like when you do the like on Gears, when you put it in that 60 frames mode, there's like a smoothness that your eye can see. And especially in a racing game where you're going super fast, like especially in the Bugatti, when you're going really fast and you have to keep your eyeballs open, like you're like wanting to cry because you're like almost you got to keep your eyelids open. You know, it's good to have that frame rate because it's smooth.
You feel it in the turns because I put performance first. I was like, hell yeah, I want to see that. That's the whole point.
Fox, what do you play Tomb Raider under though? Fox, performance, or are you playing it under resolution?
Performance.
Oh really? You're doing the wow.
Really?
Not
well,
me.
I play. I have a 1080.
Oh yeah,
TV.
That's
I'm like, so obviously I will do that because I have no other choice. But I also like more frames and more performance, so I'll take that. Like later on when we get a fancier whatever 4K and all that good stuff, OLED maybe, then I'll check out Tomb Raider.
OLED is life, Fox. OLED is life.
I mean, I was checking it out this weekend. Yes. But when we get those TVs, then I'll like, Tomb Raider, I'll try just because it's so beautiful. And I'll try some other games too, but for my multiplayer stuff, I usually just stay with the 60.
Like I'm with you, like with racing and shooters and stuff like that.
Gears,
I prefer the 60. Except for Gears, the single player part, excuse me. I actually like the 4K. It looks so much better.
I would love to try both, man. Give me both in one. I would love that one day.
Exactly. Well, supposedly they're aiming for that with the next Gears, so hopefully we can actually get that. Hey, we got over 500 watching and only 89 likes, and this isn't Mooch's channel. So let's get some likes here. Let's go. Let's see if we can't get. Let's speed up the 200 likes real quick. So I'm downloading the Forza Horizon demo, and as you guys know, my internet not the best, and they decided to make this thing 28 gigs. Like holy crap! So yeah, mine's. I think I paused it so I could actually podcast without botting the whole time.
I'm thinking about making an animated film about the two hamsters and a wheel that push Crap's internet along.
Yeah, it's great. I'm telling you,
right? You know what I mean? I can see them both stopping while you do a podcast. Like, while he's doing that, we can take a coffee break. Somebody lights up a cigarette. I don't know what's going on.
It did take a while for me too because I was playing Tomb Raider while I was downloading that, and I was like doing something on the PlayStation, installing something there as well. So I was like, wow, it is taking a long time. But I mean, I didn't notice it because I was playing Tomb Raider. And then right before when I was asking, hey, where's Mooch in the chat and stuff, and we're going to start, I was like, let me play a little bit of Forza. So I did that whole beginning part that Salty was talking about where they show you all the different weather. It was amazing. Beautiful.
John Doe says, hey, crap, I can't wait for the next Gears Halo native 4K. That's right, man. That's what I'm talking about. Look, you guys get all pissy about my opinion on Tomb Raider being better than Spider-Man or God of War so far. I'm just saying, right? Like, man, people are like, explain, crap, explain. And I'm like, okay, like,
how
chill
dare
out. Like,
you?
Look, multiple ways. If you just chill out for a little bit, would you? Like, you guys just need to relax a little bit. You live longer. Trust me.
I just want to know if everybody wants us to be like the Borg from Star Trek, where we all have the same like thoughts and everybody's the same. Like, it just seems like that.
I guess. Hey, this was really cool that I read about Forza 4 that I had as well. So the day one car pack. Why did I spell it care? I don't know. Best of Bond. So it has James Bond care. What the hell? James Bond cars, obviously. Yes. The day one car pack called the Best of Bond, James Bond cars. Are you guys James Bond fans? I like the cars. I think that sounds pretty cool. Are you guys interested in that at all?
Yeah, why not? I mean, one of the big things, like every single E3 is Microsoft brings out a new Porsche or Lamborghini on stage. One of the big things about every single James Bond movie is like, and don't forget to buy your own Bugatti next Friday. And you're like, what? Who's buying a Bugatti next Saturday? I mean, like that's the whole thing. So I think they go hand in hand. I like that deal there, crap.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah, I think if you look at James Bond, he's all about his cars, and his gadgets and stuff like that. So I think it's a good pairing with Forza because they're all about cars, So
he has more luxury cars though, right? Than anything.
Yeah, he does.
Because I like the sports ones more.
Yeah, exactly.
The coupes and whatnot.
Yeah. Someone at AP Cool J says, how you gonna handle the puzzles? Crap, Tomb Raider. So far, pretty easy. I'm like 5. A little bit
because he's playing on easy.
Come on. I am in fact playing on easy. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Obviously. I don't think let's see. Gary Oak says, Mooch, you keep yelling, brother. Love the passion.
Yes.
That's what it's all about. So anyway, for me, look, and this is what I'll say about the whole easy mode thing, right? And it's like anybody can play the games on whatever mode they want, and I'm fine with that. I don't hassle anybody about it. I want to play the games, experience the stories and things like that. And just for me personally, I always find it funny when people are always trying to tell people, one, what they should spend their money on, and two, how they should play their games. Now, no lie, I always love to interact with the fans on Xbox Live because you can tell they're usually fans because they actually have an Xbox, right? So yesterday I get a message from somebody who just goes on these long rants about how my Spider-Man review, which I gave an 8 out of 10, by the way, was wrong because I did myself a disservice by not playing it on the hardest mode. And I should really go back and play it again. And I was like, dude, do you not see what I'm playing right now? Tomb Raider, man. I'm past Spider-Man. I beat it. I put my time in. I'm done. And he's like, well, you couldn't have experienced it. That's why you gave it such a low score. I'm like, 8 out of 10 isn't a low score. Like, and I'm happy to like go back and forth a little bit. But when you just keep like with the harassment, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't understand that. Look, it's not just a Spider-Man thing. Like, I don't do side quests in other games either. Like when I played Batman Arkham, I never collected the Riddler things. They could be right in front of me. I didn't really care.
Right.
Like Sunset Overdrive. I didn't collect the toilet paper things. I didn't find Fizzy. I don't have time for that. I'm not one of those completionists, right?
Right.
So yeah, I think, that's one of the things, like, damn, like chill out. Let people enjoy what they want and play the games however they want. And, just.
I agree. Yeah, completely. But I think it says a lot when you just went through the main story and you powered through it and you still gave it a good score. I think that says a lot. And people are not noticing that because they're harping on the fact that you didn't do everything. You didn't get all the backpacks. How dare you? Like that bullshit. And it's kind of like, you don't have to do that. That's just like extra.
It's funny that, and I don't blame Foxy for bringing it up because on Friday when the game came out, everybody was talking about the backpacks. I mean, I got all the backpacks. I did all the pictures. I'm on to another thing I'm trying to do this game in completion. And it's funny, there's just a lot of that stuff to go around and collect or take pictures of or visit or stop by or do. And that's the game is it's what we thought it was, folks. This is not a bad thing either. So all you Spider-Man fans or Sony fanatics, don't get pissed off. Like, to be honest with you, that's the way the game is. I said this before I even started the swing with the left, swing to the right which is now, by the way, I got signed by Motown Records. But like, I think that the one thing everyone's gonna understand, it is a Spider-Man game. It is what it is. Like, as I'm playing through it, and I am having and I told Crap this before the show, I'm having a shit ton of fun playing Spider-Man. But at the same time, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's super duper repetitive. Yeah. Like, I mean, to the nth degree.
Have you run into any of the glitches yet? Because like
I have not.
Like, going over some of the reviews from the major outlets, nobody really mentions any of the issues. Now, I took some screenshots and posted them of stuff that There's
a lot of people showing them now. Yeah, I saw yours too.
Yeah, like the guys hanging through the door. Like, I also had like where you got to clear the thugs out of like, that's basically the game, right? Clear the thugs out. So one time a thug was stuck behind a wall, so I couldn't finish him off. So I couldn't progress. Right. So then I had to restart the mission. There was also another time where I had to help somebody that was trapped under a car and it wouldn't let me access it. You know what I mean? And there's glitches that happen in all games. I was just surprised that more people didn't actually mention this. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this is a situation where there are some bugs like open world games have sometimes. You know what I mean? Like that happens. Open world games can have, like, The Witcher 3, for example, has glitches and issues, but it was just funny to me that nobody called this out. What, like, in the main sites, the big sites.
Well, Mad Jack says Forza is also repetitive, man. Shake my head. Mad Jack, you have to understand something. I get that. You got to remember what I said. Every game's repetitive, but I guess it comes down to, are you okay with the repetitive nature in the game that you're playing over and over again? Like, the one thing Crap loves to point out on me is I like Destiny. Is Destiny repetitive? Yes. But do I love to play those missions over and over again to get a better godly roll on the guns and to experience different things with different people in the community? Yes, I do. The one thing I will say about Spider-Man is, remember, it's a single-player game. And the one thing about the single-player games are, when you get done going to hunt 55 backpacks, and they're like, okay, whew, you did it. Nice work, Peter. Okay, now go take 105 snapshots in New York City. And you're like, what? Like, those are right near where the backpacks were. Why don't you tell me to do them at the same time? So anyway, that's what I'm trying to say is, like, there's nothing wrong with repetitive nature, but sometimes there's a problem when you're like, oh, good, I finished this. I can't wait to go on to chapter 2. And chapter 2 is to collect the things that were next to the backpack.
Yeah. Now, somebody mentioned that it does the glitches detract from the enjoyment of the game. I think it depends, right? Like, having to restart a mission you just did, that can detract a little bit. Like, I didn't want to go back in and just start the mission over again. I took a break, So, like, even when I reviewed it, I'm like, maybe not everybody was having these issues, or like I had a problem where sometimes the facial, like the eyes were doing that weird thing. Sort of like, it has a lot of issues like Assassin's Creed Unity, right? And nobody mentioned it, right? But it's like Mass Effect Andromeda has issues, and everybody's talking about it. It's a meme. And Assassin's Creed Unity has it, and it's a big meme, and it's a big problem. State of Decay 2, like, you've seen that, Mooch, like people spawning in walls and stuff. Well, that same stuff is happening in this big AAA, big budget game.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to really be talking about it, which I thought was a little bit odd. But I do say that I did enjoy the game, and I do, like, well, you haven't beat it yet, but I am excited to see what they do. And they do tease a sequel, but how they tease the sequel at the end of Sunset Overdrive as well.
Right.
And
right. Well, we know how that's going to go.
Yeah, exactly. So
I think it depends on the glitches and stuff. Some of them could just be funny and silly. Like that dude you took a picture of, his body was hanging out of the door like that. That was funny.
Yeah.
But it won't stop you.
I used it for that little cover or whatever. I love photo mode, man. I'm addicted to that stuff. Yeah. So
see, that stuff is hilarious. But then when you're swinging and you end up underneath the map and you're swinging, like, I don't know, kind of weird or something. Yeah, I mean, you got to restart. So that stops you from whatever you were doing. Also, it is repetitive. Obviously, most games are, like Moosh said. I agree with a lot of what he said. But if what I'm doing in Spidey is I'm doing different missions. I'm not doing all the backpacks or all the main missions all at the same time. I do a little bit of different things. So that's why I'm really enjoying it. I really like it. It's really fun. It actually, you're just Spider-Man, so it's awesome. I like when you're Spider-Man, by the way, not when you're Peter or you're doing other stuff, I'm kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
But when you're Spidey, that's how I feel like that's the awesome part of the game. Yeah. And I'm doing different things. I don't just stick with one type of mission.
Yeah, well,
so I'm enjoying it.
Well, don't worry. We're not going to talk about Spider-Man too much. I just wanted to talk about this for a minute. What's funny is I agree with you, Fox, and I mentioned this to Mooch, that the Peter Parker missions remind me a lot of the walking missions in Halo 5 that I hated. Right, where you just walk around and you're talking and stuff. Like I didn't like those really at all.
Yeah,
I didn't like them in Halo. I didn't like them in Spider-Man. Although I thought that Spider-Man overall was a really good game. And they are getting a new game plus. Mooch, do you think that new game plus is something that these games should launch with, or do you think that doesn't need to launch with these types of games?
I think it should have launched with that, but the fact that they're going to throw it in, I hear, within 7 days is, it's coming within a week or so. So I think or it's coming very soon. I shouldn't say a week, but I read the article and it's coming very soon. So, even if you beat the game already, which some people, a lot of YouTubers have, I don't know if a lot of just regular gamers have, but I think that I think it's very good. I think it is, because when you get done with the game crap, I like to go back in with what I've already acquired and then finish other things that I haven't done. Maybe get some other, in this case, trophies.
Well, what was weird for me was, right, because I think while the suits are cool, most of them I had no interest in acquiring. And a lot of them you get them by, like, you get a token for stopping crime, or you get a token for taking a picture, or a backpack thing, right? So there was really no incentive for me to do any of that stuff. Like, the only crimes that I stopped were ones that literally happened right in front of me. And I was like, I guess I'll stop this crime. You know what I mean? Like, I just could, like, I'm not that guy. Even when I played Batman, it's not an Xbox thing. It's not a PlayStation thing. It's a Crapgamer thing, where I just, like, even when those crimes were happening in Batman games, I didn't really stop them. Right. It was like, I went on to the mission. Like, I'm like a main mission. I don't want to get sidetracked kind of guy. That's why I have trouble with GTA 5, which when I say something's too open world, because that literally throws a million things at you at once. Right.
That's the problem with GTA, even though I miss it and I wish I gave it a longer run than I did too,
actually.
The thing about it, though, Crap, is it's too open world. There is a such thing. You get drowned out. It's saturation.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that is something that is a legit thing. And I'm starting to see some people come around. Not every game has to be open world.
Yeah, it's about time.
Not every game has to be open world. So we can talk a little bit about Tomb Raider. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. So here's the deal. If you guys are just joining us, please hit that like button. Here we go. If you guys didn't know, the Croft Edition allowed you to play the game 2 days early. But I guess Square decided to go ahead and let anybody who pre-ordered the game, even physical copies, pick them up yesterday. So I don't know what happened there. Don't worry, I'm not going to spoil the game. There's no spoilers about Tomb Raider here. Other than saying it's a good game so far. So they released the game, even if like you didn't have the Croft Edition. So I don't know if that's like that's weird, because you pay more for the Croft Edition to get early access, right? So if I pay $100 for Forza Horizon 4, and they say I play 4 days early, and then they just let standard or Game Pass owners play it 4 days early, isn't that a bit of I'm not exactly.
Odd.
Yeah, so that was.
At the same time, I'm kind of like happy for people because we can all play it. It's just I have the season pass and the steelbook, and you don't. But I like that everybody gets to play it now, especially if they're like telling me, "Oh, I can't wait! I gotta play it now. I have to. I thought I had to wait till Friday, but I guess you can pick it up now."
What do the $100 folks get now that they don't get the early option?
Don't you get the DLC and stuff too?
The season pass, you get outfits and extra stuff. You get the soundtrack, and you get, well, if you have it physical, you get the steelbook. That's about it.
Yeah, you buy your games physical, and then you do the YouTuber hand modeling.
Yes, she does.
Lovely. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and I got these cards, like these little cards that has Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3 on it. So yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to teach people a lesson not to spend that much money on a game. I don't know.
That's a good point, Salt.
That is, but look, she gets the season pass, which there's going to be some.
I have no regrets. I'm
just kidding. I'm just kidding.
No, and that's not a Foxy. I think
no regrets.
So the days of buying like the. If you get something like, so she gets the what is it, the DLC, that's fine. At least there's some value there.
Yeah.
But to sit there and say that, like, I'm gonna go and get something because it comes out 4 days early. Those days have come and gone as far as Mooch is concerned. I'm not playing something 4 days early to get ahead. I did it once. I can't remember what the game was. Crap. I think it was State of Decay 2.
Yeah, we both got State of Decay 2.
We got the Ultimate Edition.
I'll tell you what. Here's the thing. I reviewed it. I thought that game was okay, right? Like, it would have been better if they would have did servers and you could actually play and progress your story with your friends, right? Like, that's my big hang up. They're like, yeah, multiplayer, guys. But it's like, your friends might as well just be stick figures because they don't do anything. You can't progress. Like, who wants to join you and help you progress your town and then not get anything out of it?
Shout out to Gadang, who's in the chat. And Gadang's an awesome gamer, man. He's a great friend and just an overall supporter of everybody that does podcasts, especially on the Xbox side. So shout out to Gadang, who's got like 450 hours he can never get back. But you know, the thing, that game, I've said it since day one. I'll say it again. They just missed the mark. And people are like, what do you mean, Mooch? How can you say something like that? How could you dare you? What? I mean, I wanted more. We're supposed to go and get better. People just said right now, you guys said it yourself on the panel. People have said it all day long. People have said that Forza Horizon 3 was killer. It looked amazing. And yet still, even if you play the 1080p 60 version, they've outdone themselves. Yeah. They could have just made Forza Horizon 4 the same as Forza Horizon 3. Why couldn't they have? They could have.
Yeah.
They could have. It was beautiful. So what? Instead of a 90, it would have got, what, an 88? It still would have done killer. But no, they pushed themselves. And Undead Labs, for some reason, yeah, I mean, it's a slight bump up. The world's a little bit bigger. But to have the problems that they had, and I know it was $30. I get it. There's a lot of defense mechanisms, and I get it. But I was looking so forward to that game, and I thought it just came in. It came in real short. Real short.
Yeah. I hear you. For me personally, I think, like I like State of Decay 2. I just think it's one of those things where it wasn't really, I don't know, it wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. Hold on. So Y9 Power says too many 100 plus, 200 plus hour games. This is what causes backlogs, which brings me to the saying, I'd rather have a bad day at the division than a good day at work. Yes, backlogs suck. Then we also have, let's see, Yobi Dren. Thanks for streaming the night. Question for the panel. What ignited your passion for video games, podcasting, and your dream goals? Well, passion for video game podcasting. Man, I think that it was just like a way to kind of get your outlet out there, right? Talk about it in a long format. Because if you're just doing regular videos, you're only doing them on a specific topic. Whereas with a podcast, you can cover multiple topics. Right. And, that's something that we're going to be able to cover a lot more in that. And you can get also kind of, I just like being able to speak from the heart a little bit more. As far as dreams, I guess save animals, as many as I can, that's probably just not game related or whatever, but just, I'm a big animal person, in particular dogs. So yeah. What about you, Mooch?
Well, I don't know. That's like that back to school question. I got one question for you in 27 parts. You like that? Thanks, Saul. Thanks for knowing that joke. But here's the thing. I got into podcasting because at the time, I think things have gotten a little better, but that's because, like I said on multiple podcasts, Microsoft really hasn't given the media since Phil took over too much ammo. They got rid of Connect. They upped their power ante. They're buying studios. They seem to have different things in position to attack for next generation. We'll see if those things come true. But when I got into it, there was a very, very hard media slant towards Xbox. They just didn't like them. And some things Microsoft did wrong. They shot themselves in the foot a lot of times. We said that crap many times. But to be honest with you, I thought that, when I'm sitting here and I'm reading everything and I'm watching all these shows and I'm watching the big media publications and I'm like, man, there's nobody saying, Xbox still does have value and they are still putting out a hell of a product. I don't understand why. It was a good way to come out and voice your opinion on things. As far as, dreams and aspirations, well, heck, I'd like to see M&C on CBS, NBC, and ABC if you're asking. Yeah. But
or satellite radio, right?
Or satellite radio, or we can say whatever we want.
Hey, also, I want to point out real quick about the podcasting thing. I'm a big talk radio fan because my job, which is basically taking care of animals and stuff like that, I listen to a lot of talk radio. So it's like Howard Stern, Bubba the Love Sponge. These are guys that, people you know, that people really, they just kind of spoke how it was. And I get that that isn't how they act, like, really in real life, right? But, you know, it really draws in people because, and they'll tell you, man, like, it's all about that, you know? And I like that idea to be able to kind of be somebody else and kind of just kind of let things fly, you know what I mean? And so I think especially early on, me and Mooch, when we had that conversation about M&C, we were like, hey, we can do our own morning show, sort of like Howard Stern or whatever. And we want to do skits and we want to do all that kind of stuff, you know? And so that's what we were able to accomplish. And I love doing that. I just, like, for me, podcasting is very natural for me, more so than even doing the videos. But also podcasting is where you can really find out who has the chops, so to speak, right? If you got, you know, and that's not really a knock on anybody, but if you got a podcast that's all full of dead air and I don't know, like, those aren't fun. Those aren't engaging to the fans. So that's not fun for anybody. So I always say, hey, it should be a group of people that you have fun with. Now, I've had different casts in here and I've gotten along with them, and sometimes things don't work out. But at the same time, man, if they're in my podcast and, you know, I get them, and I think that they've got talent, and I think that they're good podcasters and people, most importantly. What about you, Fox, or, you know?
You guys have great points, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, what was it? The whole gaming and the passion podcasting. I just love gaming so much. I think it's awesome outlet. It's entertainment. I think it's better than just watching a movie and sitting there and watching a TV show. So the fact that you can engage, I don't know, pretend to be someone else, or you know, like, imagine, like, you can't drive, so then you play racing games. I don't know, like, stuff like that. It just, you go into another world. I think it's amazing. I love talking about gaming, so that's why I got into podcasting. That was actually a complete accident because I just wanted to share my thoughts in my own videos, but I got invited to podcasting, and then from there I learned so much. So now it just comes natural to me to have a conversation with my panel members, with my friends, and just share our thoughts together, debate, or, you know, just talk about gaming. So I love that stuff. And I guess my dreams and goals, wow, this is interesting and loaded question. But just to be happy. That's basically it. And for my family to be happy, and for us to be good to each other. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it simple. That's it.
Nice. That's really well said. Yeah. What about you, Salty? What got you into podcasting, and what's your goals?
Yeah. What's your goals? Sounds like my parents, right?
Yes.
It's funny how crap you explained your background and stuff. I was really big into sports and video games. Sports at a time was like at the pinnacle, like the forefront of my life. I was just consumed by it. And before I went to Arizona State University, which has a great communications program, it has the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and all this other stuff, which is in my hometown. I was like, man, I really want to go into sports broadcasting. I want to do this sports radio stuff. So local radio, I made some connections there. You know, it's KTAR here, but I've talked to some people, actually did an internship there and was on like that path and journey, but I didn't ever finish it. So I was just like, I really wanted to do a local, you know, sports talk radio show, but my passion is way higher for video games than it is, you know, sports. Sports is actually taking a real big backseat since I got into YouTube and podcasting stuff. But I just wanted to get my voice out there and do this. So it's a good opportunity. I didn't know that YouTube had the ability or the possibilities of doing, you know, podcasts this easily. Like you can do a Google Hangout and, you know, do all this stuff. So that's kind of how that happened. Goals and aspirations. May have a real lightsaber one day. That'd be cool.
Hashtag priorities. Hell yeah.
So, yeah, good stuff.
I hear you, man. That's awesome. Yeah. So yeah, I like it when we get cool questions like that, you know. And it's nice to see people like So Shady. He's like, hey, crap, you're the reason I got into podcasting and YouTube and stuff. That's awesome to hear too. You know, I'm just
hey, I've told you something like that.
I know.
That's how I did my videos.
I remember. You were doing these little quiet videos, and then you started podcasting and stuff. Yeah,
these guys in the chat, they don't know me. They don't know that.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, look, my original videos were like, where the games don't always suck, but the reviews usually do, or some crappy. Yeah,
where they great slogan, crappy. Crap.
Yeah, right. I know, like right? where the games aren't always crap, but the reviews usually are. Yeah, that's so. Right. Yeah, that it doesn't get much worse than that. But I do want to
start somewhere.
Talk a little bit about Tomb Raider, right? So, I gotta say, I'm in it. Like the opening of this game grabbed me in the way that God of War did. Like right away, I was invested in it. I have to say, the story, 6 hours in, I like it better than Spider-Man. Graphically, this might be my favorite game on the X in terms of what it can do. I absolutely love this game. I think this is a fantastic game. I think that it's an 83 on Metacritic right now. It could be more. We don't really know why it's not. Maybe for whatever reason. There maybe it has something to do with Spider-Man just came out. Maybe it had something to do with it's a new developer. It's not Crystal Dynamics. It feels like Crystal Dynamics made the game.
Yeah.
So I gotta say that so far, from what I've played, because I love this franchise, and keep in mind that the first two in this reboot were my game of the year. This one's right up there in that thinking, right? So I've got to put that in that line of thought when you're thinking about that. Now, I still got more to go in this game, probably 10 more hours or something, but man, really grabbed me. I'm really enjoying it. It looks amazing. I just can't say enough good things about me. It's not an exclusive, so I'm not treating it. I'm just saying, in general, these games are some of my favorites and have been since the reboot came out. And I'm enjoying the hell out of this game. I think they did an extremely good job with it. I love it. It's awesome. Anybody else? Or?
I completely agree. I'm really happy with it as well. I've got 3 hours in it, I think I saw last. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. This kind of reminds me of the first time I played the reboot on the 360, and I was just blown away of what they done with Tomb Raider, because it got stale before that. And I played it at random with my cousins or in my friend's house. So I got bored of Tomb Raider back in the day, and then when they did the reboot, I thought it was amazing. I loved it so much. I put hours into it. I collected all the things and everything like that. When Rise came out, I didn't do that. I didn't give it my full attention. I was trying to play Gears Ultimate and Halo and Forza, I think I was playing. So I was trying to do too much. So it took me a long time to beat Rise, but I loved it, obviously. And now back to this one, and I just want to focus on it. So I do want to give it more time. I want to stop playing other stuff and go back to Spidey later and go back to other games later. Because like I said in my video, I picked up some other games for PlayStation, and I'm kind of that could wait, because I really want to see what happens in the story. I'm liking it so far. It looks awesome. It plays awesome. So yeah, I'm really happy with it so far. And I don't understand why it's 83, but again, I don't focus too much on Metacritic. I glimpsed at it, but at the end of the day, it is what I like, or maybe what my friends recommend.
What did Rise of the Tomb Raider get Metacritic wise?
I think Rise got the same thing as all the other ones, which was 86. I think they all got.
Okay.
So I thought it was interesting that this was 83, which is not bad at all. But I did read some of the reviews, which was saying it's more of the same, and I was like, that's not a bad thing. I like that.
Yeah.
And then when I played it, I'm like, but it has new features that some people didn't point out that I really like as well, and it changes the gameplay for me. So I'm really enjoying it. I think it's awesome. I think everybody should pick it up.
Wow.
Okay, so Rise of the Tomb Raider got an 86 when it launched on the Xbox. When the 20-year celebration launched on PS4, it got an 88. But that was with all the DLC and all that kind of stuff that they added. So
yeah, and the VR.
Yeah, the VR and the expansions and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, it stays in the 80s and stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. And I would say that again, I haven't beat the game yet. Some people say maybe there's some bugs or something. Maybe that could lower the score. For me personally, I haven't run into anything yet. I think it looks great. I love the addition of photography mode, that you can mess with different filters and borders and all that kind of stuff. I think they do an incredible job with that. And I just hope that more games actually start to do that. Like Spider-Man does it. I know Shadow of War does it. Tomb Raider, this Tomb Raider does it. I know Forza games do it, but I just think, man, this is really great because you can like just kind of look all around and get really good shots, and I like that. And I was sharing all kinds of screenshots late last night because people were like, share some shots, crap, because I was like, man, this game looks amazing. And so I was sharing some shots, and man, it looks amazing. Just truly, they did a really good job. I'm not exactly sure what the some people are like, oh, well, it's got wonky animations or whatever. I haven't run into any of that yet, so I don't know.
I mean, I think it plays just like the other games in a way.
Yeah.
Obviously, besides the new features and stuff that I like, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see what other people are talking about. I just
The weird thing that I saw, what was it, GameSpot or whoever gave him a 6 out of 10, I think it was. They were like, I think they were saying it was too similar to the other games. It's like, what do you want it to do? Do like first person mode, like go totally different, change the character? Like, I don't get it. Like,
I don't get it either, right? Like, look, Uncharted was great. Like, I hate to bring it back up to that, but Uncharted's great. And, more Ratchet and Clank is great. And people want more Last of Us. It's great. You know what I mean? And now all of a sudden, you get, this is the third Tomb Raider game.
I can get behind somebody saying that, and I've watched a few of the reviews where they said this, but they weren't as harsh as like Salty was just saying with the 6 out of 10. I can get behind the fact that, because I've watched a lot of footage of it and everybody's been, tweeting stuff out. It is a lot like Rise of the Tomb Raider. I understand that there's a couple, and to Salty's point, what do you want them to do? Well, to be honest with you, in Salty's answer, that's no one on this panel's job to say that what they should do. I don't know. I'm not a developer, but I will say this much: even if you wanted to discredit the game for being, very similar to the past two, that's fine. Take off 0.5. Take 1 off. But realistically, the game is playing well. The game is, and it depends on who you talk to. If you talk to a hater, they just say it doesn't look good. But the majority of people are saying this game is beautiful. So if the game's beautiful, the mechanics are working just fine. There's no game-breaking bugs. Everyone loved Rise, so they're enjoying this one. I don't see how you can give this game a 6 out of 10. And I haven't played it yet, but I'm just saying I can only see, like, that's, you know what I'm saying? So even if somebody wanted to be salty and say that it's too similar, the lowest I could see them going with it is an 8 or even a 7.5 if you really want to be nasty. But realistically, to say that it's as good as Rise, but it's too similar, like Crap just said with his Uncharted reference and other games, and shout out to Mad Jack in the chat again, who said, well, Forza's, repetitive and Spider-Man games are repetitive. If we're going to say that they're all repetitive, I don't see how you can ding this game to a 6. A 6 is almost barely functional. 5 is broken, for crying out loud. So, I mean, a 6 is okay. I think this game stands well above okay, and I understand that it's well below great. So I think it's, myself personally, I can't give it a score. I haven't played it yet, but that 6 out of 10 is ludicrous.
Yeah. There's worse ones, but I don't want to talk about them on in here. But yeah, I like the game. I think it's really good. Like I said, a game that grabs me like that is rare. Especially with single player games. A lot of people hate on me because I like more multiplayer. It's because I like hanging with the friends. You know what I mean? It's all about Xbox Live. And when you play a game solo, you feel very much alone. I'm not, I prefer to play multiplayer with my friends. That's all. But
I'm always in parties, but with Tomb Raider right now, I'm enjoying it. I don't need to be in a party. I just want to focus on the game and the story and everything like that. I'm really enjoying it. Especially the underwater stuff is really, really good, guys.
It looks amazing. I gotta say, it looks absolutely stunning. I want to talk about this because this kind of came out later that the AMD CEO confirms helping Microsoft build new consoles. And I hate this word too. They both have specific secret sauce that they're helping them do. So Mooch, here's the thing. Like, you were on BGS
having flashbacks.
Yes, you were on BGS with me years ago, where everybody would go. I don't remember who all these quote unquote insiders. I remember you had one of them on your show one time, and I made fun of him the whole show. And he was like, yeah, the Xbox One is really 5.5 T-flops, and they're just going to flip that switch, and it's going to be great. It's got that secret. I hated that, right? Because I didn't agree with that. I was like, look, people are focused on the wrong thing. Like DX12 is going to help developers do a little bit of stuff, but at the end of the day, and look at Gears, right? Yeah. That's 1080-30 campaign, 1080-60 on the base Xbox One, the launch Xbox One. That's incredible. And that's thanks to DX12. Forza Horizon 2, again, 1080p game. Forza Motor, like those all look great. Even the first Star Wars Battlefront. But I always used to hate it when people would go secret sauce. I'm like, man, like let's focus on the game, because at the time we had some amazing games, amazing exclusives, amazing and
now you have one of the leading people in silicon technology saying secret sauce in one of their interviews, which was great.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, man, I like, let's just stop. Look, put in stuff that actually helps the consoles, that helps gaming go forward. People obviously want that 60 frames. Make sure you can achieve that. You know what I mean? We're already doing 4K or close enough, like with dynamic scaling and stuff on the X, and 60 on most multiplayer stuff. Get it up to that 4K. So we're not going to have, like, people just assume we're going to have like this big leap like we did from the, PS2 to the PS3 and Xbox 360, right? The only reason that leap looks even better when you look at it now is because that was going from standard def TV to high def. Yeah. Right. We're already in high def. So even the like games can look great with the OLED because you love OLED. But still, we're not going to see that big a difference in the things that we see, probably just more in the performance and things like that. Right. Like that's basically what they're kind of hinting at and talking about. So like, what do you think? What do you want to see, Moj? What kind of secret sauce?
I listen. Leave the sauce to the Italians. Okay, let's leave it out of Silicon Valley. First of all, I told you what I want next generation is. I want to see frames. I think that should be the emphasis. We have 4K. The X is doing 4K just fine. Almost every Xbox exclusive that comes out now is 4K 30. So at this point, it's got to be 4K 60, or at least whatever, 1440p 60. Games need to be locked in, or you know what? Even if you say I don't need that much, fine. Then give us a 30 and give us a 60 option on everything. I think that needs to be the emphasis. I think they need to emphasize a little bit more on like whatever the interpretation that you may have on max settings is on a PC. Get pretty damn close to that if they can. These are the wish lists, by the way, folks. These aren't, I'm saying what's coming, but that's what needs to be focused on for next generation. And for crying out loud, okay, this is a Microsoft problem. Whether you like it or not, Microsoft, you have to come up with a UI and you have to stick with it. I don't want next generation to have 75 UIs where every time I come home and I turn it on, I have to learn where, like, that's ridiculous, right? I mean, that is goddamn ridiculous. I don't care if you like Android, iPhone, Windows Phone. It's been the same UI since birth of the damn device. So my whole point is we can't have 75 UIs. They did it with the 360. They did it with this one. They did it this one because of the follies. I don't know what they were doing with the 360 UI. But, I mean, whatever you come up with on day one, that doesn't mean you can't make it faster or you can't put a new button in or a new tab. Sure you can. Absolutely. Knock yourself out. But we can't go through these various changes and it's like, well, now you got to do it, but you got to hang upside down while you use it. You're like, what? I mean, it was ridiculous. It was too much. Do what you're supposed to do. Do your R&D now. And when you launch, trust me, that has a lot to do with it, Crab. I know people that own only Xboxes. And when we were on our third iteration of UI, people were like, what's the deal with this? People I know personally, they're like, what is this? Like every time I go home and turn this thing on, it's got a new user interface. It's like, it's annoying. And I'm like, it's funny. All of us were like, this is great. This is a new feature. But the thing is, though, realistically, the public doesn't like that. People like to come home and know how to navigate through their device. You don't want to open up your phone tomorrow and be like, where the fuck is the phone? You know what I mean? Like, you don't want to do that. So, it's just, I think people are with me on that, is get your priorities set up, straightened out. And you have to, listen, sometimes Crap, when you're the captain, you got to go down with the ship. So whoever makes the decision that that's the UI, then that's the UI for next generation. Again, you can add things, but not that drastic. That's my next generation wish list.
Well, what always bugged me was I thought that when you get a next gen console, you should have had everything that you already had and then add new stuff on, right?
Hell yeah!
It's so weird that when the Xbox One and PS4 launched, it was missing stuff that the 360 had.
The same,
but different, but still the
same.
Yeah. So, I was like, man, why are we? Like, it sucked. Like, we had to get excited about the ability to stream music in the background of our games. Like, we had that since the original Xbox, They took it out and they give it back to us, and then we clap for it. It seems like that. It's like the whole Madden thing, right?
Sounds like Bungie.
Exactly.
They give it to you, they take it out.
It is.
Zing! He got you there, Mooch. What's your rebuttal?
My rebuttal to that is Forsaken is kicking ass. Thank you.
No, but like if we took a time machine and looked at how bad that Xbox UI was in 2013, my God.
Holy shit. It was awful. Just a blank screen with 4 boxes.
Yeah, it was.
Thanks,
horrible.
Microsoft.
Whatever they were doing.
Software my ass. Yep.
Hey,
come on.
Had Tim Cook out there designing some stuff for him, right? Come on.
I mean, Tim Cook at the end of his commercial today had a Tim Cook emoji floating around.
Credit for that. Todd Howard. He's doing Apple stuff.
Of course he was.
Yeah. I like Snap though. I really wish that they would bring that.
Cool.
Yeah. That's how I used to watch my podcast and play at the same time.
We should have. You want to talk about advancements and moving in the right direction? That should have been picture in picture.
That was, yeah. I know, right?
I love that, especially on football Sundays. Crap. Listen, once the Giants are done at 1 o'clock, that's predominantly their games. Sports. But from 4 o'clock until 11, instead of having the game on the big screen, I'd have the game in the corner and I'd be playing a game.
Yeah. Well, apparently, less than 2% of people use Snap. But to me, it was like
less than 2% of people in California where it's 95 degrees all year. Not over here where it's freezing.
Well, you know what? It's funny because I used it all the time.
Ask the people of Pittsburgh. Crap, it's freezing over there. I bet you they're watching TV in January. Who's frolicking in the snow over there?
I have a perfect promo to bring back Snap, right? They do a thing with the Marvel. They get Thanos in there, and they're like, guess what? We're bringing the Snap back. And then they just have his glove and his gauntlet. Boom. Everybody's excited,
And then Spider-Man goes, I don't feel so good. I don't feel so good.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. that would be absolutely funny. Oh, come on. I'm a Spider-Man fan, man. He's great. He's doesn't get
swinging around.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't really get much better than that. I think it's going to be fantastic. So, we got some Crackdown 3 news.
Oh my God.
Do we really?
Yeah, we do actually.
Was this Aaron putting his foot in his mouth again?
Well, we do have that too, Foxy. But this is
okay.
This was tweeted out by Joseph Staten, who works at Microsoft Game Studios. He says that they're working on internal Crackdown 3 marketing. Which, if you guys know anything about gaming, they do the internal stuff because he's playing the role of what's his name? Crackdown 3 guy, Terry Crews, right?
Terry.
Oh my God.
Terry Crews. Right. And so he's doing when they're coming up with the concepts for the actual marketing of the game, you do it internally first. And then that means that the game is probably done and we're going to definitely get it. And I think that's good news. Hey, Alex, he says, hello from Brazil. Let's make Snap great again.
Brazil.
Yes. I love the Brazilians, man. You guys are great. Those
beautiful people.
Yes, those are awesome. I would love to get over there one day and break out the Speedo. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna go play Tomb Raider. Bye.
Oh, come on! That wasn't even a mayonnaise joke. It was just a Speedo joke. Come on. So yeah, I mean, Mooch, what do you think? For me, I know people are like Tomb Raider, but at least this is positive that we're gonna get it. We're probably, definitely, almost certainly, likely to get it.
Well, listen, I mean, I've said this a number of times. I'll say it again. I mean, Crackdown for me is a never was. That's not Crackdown 3. Yeah. I don't
You've
particularly
never played any of them, right? Though
no, I played one when it was back compat, and then when it got 4K up-res, I did go on and play it. I played it for like an hour. I mean, to me, it's there. Listen, it's okay to have a chaotic game, but that game's all over the place. It's like, do whatever you want to do. What the fuck? No, I'd like some instructions, please. No, you don't have to. You can go, it's literally the Costanza conversation with NBC. And he's like, what'd you do this morning? Whatever you want to do. I didn't do anything. Well, what did you do in the afternoon? Nothing. I just sat at home. He's like, well, why would I watch it? He's on TV. And the guy from NBC's like, not yet. And he's like, it's not on TV yet. And it's like, this ain't a game yet. But
no, here's the thing, though. It's like,
I think it never was.
Those games are like cartoony GTA almost, except for right. So yeah, go ahead.
You know what Crackdown reminds me of? Do you guys watch the movie Groundhog Day with Bill Murray?
Yes.
All right. So every time I hear Crackdown, I think of Bill Murray getting up right after he like died, like purposely. He threw like a toaster in the bathtub, and then he wakes up. He's like, "Oh shit, I'm still here," and he keeps trying and trying and trying. That's what I hear Crackdown. I'm like, this game is still out there, because I think it was Hyena Den. He talked about it in a party. He's like, "Well, we have Crackdown coming out." I was like, "Damn, that game still hasn't come out." You know,
it's just we've got Crackdown.
Day. Yeah,
such a mess.
Hey, we've got Crackdown over here, guys. Look at me. Speaking of Crackdown, Aaron Greenberg says,
"Oh boy,
here we go." He says that Xbox is the best box and has
the best box.
He said
that was a quote, right?
I wish. He said Xbox has the best lineup this holiday, and they don't need no Crackdown 3 because there's already too much as it is. So they don't need no Crackdown 3 this year. What do you guys? What do you make of that?
Oh man,
Wait,
you know,
did a drum go do afterwards, like he told the joke and everybody's waiting for laughs?
Apparently not.
Okay.
I mean, the thing about it is this. I really think that Aaron, kudos to Phil for not saying anything lately. You know what I mean? Like, kudos to Mike for, again, just tweeting out, "Here's how you win 12 months of Xbox Live." And that's it. Aaron, I know, is in marketing, but, you know.
Hell of a marketer.
Yeah, he's something. I think that, boy,
Yep.
I think that, well, listen, just to give you an example, and I understand it doesn't all fall on Aaron, so let's not all point the finger at him. But realistically, like the Taco Bell deal that PlayStation had was awesome. I mean, all you had to do is piggyback what they did. And somehow Microsoft made the worst Taco Bell commercial I've ever seen with the X in my life. Right? That was terrible. It was a bunch of cosplayers, right? They were all dressed up at like some trying out for some medieval times with a Halo guy there. It was a mess. So for some reason, they just don't have marketing down. And then when Aaron comes out and says that, it looks foolish because everything that Xbox is doing right now is ramping up for the future. Crap, that's one of your big things too. You're like, that's what they're doing. They're ramping up for the future. Which, by the way, if anyone's keeping tabs, I'm also very skeptical on because with great power comes great responsibility. Okay, we learned that in great.
Yeah.
But the one thing you have to understand is though, just because you have a lot of money doesn't mean it's not spent foolishly. And they're spending a lot of money right now. And my concern is corporate leadership. I think Matt Booty's very good. I think what's his face over at the Initiative is very good.
Daryl Gallagher.
Daryl Gallagher's very good. Okay, so you have two guys that are very good, but both those guys are focusing on one corp. They're basically focusing on the Initiative. I think when you just say, "Hey, Ninja Theory," "Hey, Compulsion Games," "Hey, Undead Labs," which we saw with Undead Labs, do what you want to do. We're lighting candles in Redmond. Do whatever you want. Well, you don't get a good product sometimes, crap. And that's so even though getting back to Aaron, and I'll get back to that. Aaron should just calm down with the excitement on we have the best lineup for the fall because they're preparing for the future. Second of all, I'm not exactly, and I think you've noticed this, crap. We've had a lot of talks. I haven't exactly grabbed my pom-poms yet for next generation because I haven't seen, except for the acquisitions of these companies, I haven't seen a lot in the way of games coming out the way we want to. Now, Crackdown 3, I understand. I get it. It went through the rough patch and this and that, but it's had enough time and enough delays now where you could have put an A+ team in there to fix it, and they didn't do that either. Yeah. So it's like
they did pour more money on it, though, hoping that solves the problem. So
we'll find out. And listen, I'm not holding anything against Crackdown 3 because they didn't do the multi-destruction thing. I think they got ahead of themselves, and I'm not going to hold that against them. What I will hold against them is if it's just a bad game. It's just a boring game, which I think it's going to be very boring. But that's a me problem. All you Crackdown fans out there, I hope you enjoy it. If you liked 1 and 2, I can't see why you don't like 3. I think Crackdown as a whole is boring. But, I mean, that's a me problem. So when it comes to Aaron, I would just tell Aaron the same thing we've said to Mike and Phil. And Mike and Phil listened and Aaron didn't. I'd be like, let's keep it down until next generation. Because right now you can't walk into this fall saying you've got the greatest lineup of all time when predominantly you've got Spider-Man is currently beating God of War sales, which were already the greatest thing since God given us like the ability to make bread, right? And then they've got Red Dead Redemption 2 as a marketing deal. So hypothetically, you're definitely playing second fiddle. So I don't know. I don't understand where he's coming up with this, and I don't understand why there's no checks and balances in Redmond.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit weird because I think that I don't think that Greeny's doing a terrible job. I just think that he's had hardly any budget for most of the time. And I think that, now they're kind of bringing things together. But it does sound like there's going to be some kind of budget for Crackdown 3. And we did see that amazing Forza Horizon 4 commercial that you loved, Mooch, with Maurice LaMarche.
I apparently I might be alone in this camp, but that's okay. Like you said when we were telling B Dren why we got into this. It's a reason. The reason I get on here is I got to speak from the heart, crap, and I think that's why a lot of people find some of the stuff I say maybe comical, maybe some of they find it is just because I thought that was an awful commercial, and that's fine. Apparently, I'm riding solo on that, but that was one dry commercial.
Yeah, I agree 100%. What about you, Fox? You got anything to say about your most anticipated game for next year, which is obviously going to be Crackdown 3?
I don't know about that. I'm still going to play it. Man, why does he have to comment on it? Like, we know it's coming. So if you're going to talk about it, say nothing but positive stuff, I guess, or something new that we didn't know. Don't say we didn't need it. Because obviously we needed it last year. We didn't get it. Like, I don't understand.
Well, maybe it wasn't ready last year, but this time for sure.
I don't know. Had a date. Why they put a date on it? Okay. Anyway, I don't understand what they're doing to this game. I was really looking forward to it. Now it's just another game that I'm going to play on Game Pass. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to Game Pass it, huh, Foxy?
Mm-hmm.
I guess. What about you? There, Salty. What do you think about the marketing of this? What do you think about?
Definitely a Game Pass, by the way. I want to agree with Fox on that.
Yep.
Come on, man. You guys got to support it.
I am supporting it. $9.99 a month.
That's terrible, man.
Or in my case, $4.99. Go ahead.
Salty, what do you think? What do you think about Greenberg, man, and his comments here? Like a little silly, yeah.
Man, I want whatever he's taking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Salt. I hear you, dude.
It's like he's trying to sell like white gloves to someone, eating that ketchup popsicle. You ever heard that term?
I have, because I bet Mooch could sell somebody a ketchup popsicle and white gloves.
I wish we could take M&C on the road. I would try that on a curbside show. Yes, that'd be great.
This dude has sold me almost on Blackout. I'm just saying.
It's great.
Yes.
It's sold on Blackout. Crap. It is.
I know, right?
Have you I don't want to jump segments. I want to hear Salty's Greenberg.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us your Greenberg thought.
It's his job. He's he's the man that needs to drum up the excitement. It's just one of those things. It's just he's trying to do his thing, but we all know we're seeing through his message. We're like, come on. Like we hear what you're saying, but we know what you're really saying, kind of a thing. So I don't know, man. Like
he's
I said,
what we're all saying, but he's not really saying it.
Yeah,
we get it though. Hey, Man of Steel 2, right though, Salty?
Oh yeah, baby.
I think Aaron should just go over there and, like, I don't know, fix all his shoes and collection and stuff. Like, just go do that.
That's a great shoe. Maybe him and AC can do like a buddy cop thing, right? Like AC and Aaron, the Mean Streets or something, like, right? Like, that would be pretty awesome, don't you think?
Should be Aaron and a cardboard. I don't know.
Do you remember when the Beastie Boys did? I can't remember what it was. The name of it was when they were doing the what was it? License to Ill or whatever it was. And they made that one video, and they were dressed up as cops, and they were trying to act like these cool 70s.
70s cops,
right? Right, Ill Communication or something like that. Like, that's what I picture if AC Bongos and Larry did something, just dressing up like those guys and like Nathan Wincochise and Aaron, and they're all in that one car. They're in like that one Winnebago, and they're all like just kind of driving down the street. Like my whole thing with those guys is I think that there needs to be a separation between executive and commercial, right? Like, Yoshida's not doing commercials. Yoshida's not on Twitter. None of these guys are on Twitter doing anything. And when you see a Sony commercial, it's done by like Industrial Light and Magic. Okay? The people that made Star Wars were making Sony commercials. But then all of a sudden you got Microsoft and you got Aaron popping out of a Nike box. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? Why is Aaron on this? Why is he doing this? Why is every commercial just an inside Xbox with Graham showing off Xbox socks? I mean, I don't know what.
Check out these socks, Mooch.
Check out these socks, and then over the like pan over quickly to Jeff Rubenstein, where he's got the top button buttoned up to his Adam's apple on with an Xbox shirt on. It's It's like, get out of here.
Oh God, not that guy. Jesus.
Can we put a couple of dollars in the marketing? Somebody get a New Yorker over there, quick! Shit! My God, what is going on? Is there a wall up somewhere around Kansas City and New Yorkers can't go over anymore?
What happened? That might be a good thing, though, my friend.
Or Boston, or anyone from New England at this point. Take anything.
Yeah, you know what? And I know I'm gonna get crap for this. And Mooch is like, "Hey, the Mooch is right shirt is in the mail."
It's already you like that GIF I sent you? That was great. Yeah. It was an envelope with a shirt in it.
No,
it was awesome.
So like they announced a blackout thing for Call of Duty, right? And I see Assassin and everybody just talking about how amazing this is. So I actually look at in depthly and look at the stream that they do and the commercial for this, and I gotta admit that the blackout mode looks pretty good. And so with that being said, I'm gonna try it out in the beta. And
let's pour one out for PUBG. Put it in the ground where it belongs.
Oh shit!
but it looks. You know what? This looks #fun, and apparently they're up to 88 people in there. They're trying different game modes and stuff like that's. Like, wow, I don't know. Like, I'm surprised. I mean,
I just want to reiterate that me and Mooch were right again.
Yes.
What about you, Foxy? Are you any interested in this?
I'm with you, Salt.
Am I the only one that's any interested in the blackout mode or no?
Well, I'm not surprised the guys are really into it. I don't know. It looks interesting because it does look like PUBG, but with Call of Duty weapons, which we all know already from years of playing COD.
Yeah.
And it has different COD maps in the world. So that's also interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. But I don't like Battle Royale games, so obviously this is a no for me. But I wouldn't mind watching people play it because I watch Mel play PUBG all the time when she streams it. Mm-hmm. So if somebody switches up and they start playing COD, I wouldn't mind watching them playing it. I'm just not into Battle Royale games myself. But wait, one last thing. Fox, go. Wait, they should have sold this separately, in my opinion, because right now everybody's loving this and they don't really care for the other stuff, to be honest.
What do you mean the other stuff?
The multiplayer, the zombies.
Are you kidding me, Fox? Are you kidding me? Last week and the week before that, you guys are like, Activision's the devil. Activision took away my single player. You guys are like those guys on those just screaming at the top of your lungs. Right?
No, I'm just talking about the zombie and the multiplayer. Obviously, everybody still wants the story-based stuff and the whole blockbuster, but that's not happening.
My thing is this. The reason, and shout out to G-Man. G-Man, no, I will say this much. I agree with him. I don't think PUBG or Fortnite are in any like grave danger. All I'm saying is this. The reason I like Blackout, and I played it now, is that I think that the thing it does really well, forget the Call of Duty aspect of it. What Fox said was true, but I don't think that's what adds the element of wow to it. It's got the speed of Fortnite, but the tactical of PUBG. PUBG takes too goddamn long to play.
Can I be honest with you, Mooch? Like,
go ahead.
I'm interested to see... Yeah. Okay, I'm interested to see a AAA developer's take on this, right? Like, it's not kiddie, it's not building houses in a skyway to heaven,
right?
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, all right, I'll buy that. I mean, I can see you saying that.
Vehicles on Call of Duty, that piques my interest, to be honest with you. Like, I'm not really interested in like, I don't like zombies, so I probably won't play that. The only mode that I'm looking square, like. There's Blackout mode looking at me, and there's me looking at Blackout with.
That's why that's why I said what I said. Yeah, that they should have sold this one separately because I know so many people they're like, "Ooh, this looks good," or "Hey, I want to try that," and they don't care for the rest of the game. So you're gonna pay $60 for this?
So here's my take. I got a lot of things to say about this. I want to
go ahead, man. Jump in.
Okay.
Get it, bro. All right.
So PUBG was at the beginning, right? It's blue hole, which should be dug in a hole and left there. They don't know what they're doing. Go play the new map. It has textures from the Nintendo 64 era. They don't know how to optimize. The gameplay is shit. Now, if you're playing that, it's because you were desperate like me. I wanted to play this battle royale genre that I never played before, and it was coming over from PC. It was at the peak. You know what I'm saying? When you're a starving man out in the desert and you find something to eat, even if it has flies on it, you will eat it and it'll probably taste good. That's what PUBG was. And then when I was saying, oh, just wait until these Call of Duty developers get their hands on this game mode and what they're going to do with it. Yeah. And we got all these people, you know, bitching and moaning, saying, "Oh, I'm not getting my single player, blah blah blah. I'm boycotting COD. I'm not going to do it." And then all those people just kind of went away from that. Oh man, that actually looks kind of good, you know. It's just Treyarch is the top of the line when it comes to Call of Duty. In the development, you can go back and forth and say what you want, but I think they're really talented at what they do, and it's showing in this battle royale mode. They're taking all the good things from Fortnite and PUBG, and they're implementing it into this game, and it looks phenomenal. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to blow up. It's going to put PUBG in the ground. It's not going to put Fortnite in the ground because it's just too popular, and it does separate things for kids. Kids can play it, and
it's got mobile.
So
and it is free. Yeah,
it's awesome, man. I think that the regular multiplayer will still have its audience, and then this will reach out to a different audience and stuff. So.
And you know, Salt, you know, listen, everybody on YouTube likes to do it. I do it very rarely. I don't like to do it because everyone says it, and then nobody in the chat ever believes when anyone says it anyway. But when this whole thing came about and everyone was like, why do you think it's going to be so great? When everybody was like, Call of Duty's going to, I said, the thing about it is I said, Call of Duty may have not been the pioneer of team deathmatch, but they perfected it. And everybody played team deathmatch. Every game started doing team deathmatch. Now in this case, they're not the pioneer. But if you could take Call of Duty and next year you're going to get your crap gamers, make them happy, give them the single player, and then they're going to get their regular multiplayer, your team deathmatch, your capture the flag, you know, your domination. And then all of a sudden now Battle Royale is just another massive world to jump into. Man, I got news for you. And you know, Salty said it, give credit where credit's due for Treyarch. Treyarch's a big, but forget just Treyarch, Infinity Ward, any of the three in the rotation. Okay, Sledgehammer, all of them. They all have a lot of cash. Now, Epic did a hell of a job. Really, they have a lot of money too, but they don't have Activision money. They may now, but not when they first came out with it. Activision has a lot of money to throw at this, and they know that they can keep adding to the map and adding to the map and adding to the map. So next year, when you go to buy it, if you already have the map's not it's just gonna be added on. So this is something that's evolving, crap. And what I want to stress this one more time to you folks that haven't played it yet. What's important to realize is that what I really genuinely like about Blackout over the other two is Blackout allows you to play the game quick, fast, and strategic. Quick, fast, and strategic. That is a big deal. That's something that Fortnite and PUBG could not give you. So I think that is why you're getting people to pick up the controller and trying it, and they're like, holy shit, I really like this. Because there's nights I play Fortnite because I don't have time to get invested with sandbags up to my nose and sit there and wait 75 hours when I'm down to 5 people left and the circle's bigger than Disney World. I don't got that kind of time.
Yeah, I will say that, right? Like, so if you've got 15 minutes, 10 minutes to spare Fortnite, you can play a match, right? When it comes to PUBG, boys, those matches can take up to an hour unless you get slapped right away.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. But now when I watched that, at first I was just like, because you know how I am sometimes, Mooch, I'll just watch something if I'm not really into it. Like if I'm already against it, I'll not really give it a chance. So then when I went back and rewatched it, I was like, okay, that looks pretty interesting. And then when I keep hearing everybody talk about how amazing it is, I'm like, holy crap. And also during this beta or whatever, apparently PUBG dropped to under 1 million for the first time. So that's
hey, trust me, all the big streamers like Dr. Disrespect and all of them, they're all going to move over to COD. Trust me. Like a lot of the
T. Martin and all those guys, they're in love with it.
They'll be over there. It's going to blow up. I wouldn't be surprised if it surpasses Fortnite on Twitch and Mixer and stuff like that for views and stuff like that. It's kind of like what we saw with PUBG. Fortnite came out, surpassed it. All the trends right now, all the analytics are pointing towards this game just surpassing in popularity, and it is what it is. It's just a train going downhill right now.
Mizzle, he's like salty. He doesn't have an Xbox code yet, but he'll give you one. Hey, you know who else could use an Xbox code? This guy. Crapgamer. Yeah, hook it up, man.
Oh, you don't have the beta for Xbox, Crap?
No, I only have the PS4 one. Clowns actually hooked me up with the code for PS4. So the beta for the Xbox.
If you don't get one, Crap, for tonight, I might be able to get you an Xbox one.
Yeah, if you can get me one, if you can mooch one, please.
Actually, hold on. This might even happen during the show.
For just $1 a day, you can.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, for just 35 cents a day, you can save up for an Xbox Scarlett. Again, who's talking into that shit? Because I was so anti Xbox One X at first. I was like, I don't know, man. I didn't.
Yeah. I'm literally your George Costanza's lawyer. I'm Frank Costanza's lawyer. I'm the guy with the cape.
Is he wearing a cape?
He was. Well, it is Cape weather.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, right. It's fall up there. It is Cape weather.
It is. Like everybody's like, what the hell are they?
What are you guys talking about?
Yeah. So yeah, they like Blackout. I'm interested in this. So yeah, like. Hey, I'm not one to admit that fails to admit if I'm wrong or change my mind about something. I'm human. So it happens,
There's nothing wrong with wanting to try it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So
and I already know that you like battle royale games. So
I've been playing more Call of Duty as well. Like I've been playing some Call of Duty World War II. You know what I like on Call of Duty World War II? Shipment 1944.
Hell yeah.
I just play that for hours and hours and hours and just have such a good time with that. It's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. I absolutely love that. So
yeah, that's my kind of COD.
Exactly. Mooch, this was something I wanted to talk about because a lot of people always rag on Xbox for having no exclusives, right? How many times have we heard it? You guys got no exclusives. No exclusives. No exclusives. No exclusives. Crap, you guys suck. So Bloodborne and other PS4 titles are now available on PlayStation Now. Do they still consider that exclusive? Or is there going to be a caveat to that? Or is there going to be a goalpost moving to that? Because it's kind of clear to me that Sony actually likes the idea of putting their games other places but PS4, but they're very careful not to really tick off anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like do it at like such a later
It depends
date.
on who you're talking to, Crap. I mean, if those games are now going to go on PS Now, which are on the PC, that's a delicate subject, and let me explain why it is. Realistically, those games are only rentable on PS Now, right?
Yeah.
So, somebody I saw on Twitter having a battle with somebody else, I said, clear the hell out of there. They were saying, basically, yes, you're right. You could play it on PC now, but you can't own it on PC. So,
you can play it on PC.
But you can play it on PC. So there's the question. Is the fact that you could play it on PC now not making it exclusive? I think technically, in the world of X's and O's and ones and zeros, technically it's not an exclusive anymore if it's on another platform, right? Or it's just a console exclusive.
Yeah, console. So I'm perfectly fine with that term, console exclusive. Right, yeah. Like it's obviously and less so, even more so that on Xbox, since they have since they actually have Windows, like you got to use Windows, which is their thing as well. So I think that you got to be able to kind of acknowledge that, where Sony doesn't have Windows. So if they're looking originally with PS Now, they're putting stuff on Samsung TVs, Blu-ray players,
correct,
cell phone. All that kind of stuff. I see you, Salty. You're hyping up Blackout, huh? Activision Blizzard stock gets a value boost thanks to Blackout for positive buzz with the Blackout beta. Interesting. That is interesting. I mean, getting that out there. Honestly, man, I tell you what, I'm a little bit excited. Like originally I wasn't, but now I'm feeling it a little bit. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in it to see what can happen. But what about you, Foxy? What do you think? Is the game a console exclusive, or is it, if it's on PS Now and you can play it on PC, does that mean that you can actually, is that not an exclusive anymore? What's your take on that?
Oh man, the whole technical shit about this just bothers me because I'm like, I don't have time for this. I think it's a dumb discussion, but for the sake of the podcast, obviously, technically, it's not exclusive. Just like Xbox games, we don't have exclusives, whatever. But for me,
we have none.
but for me, when I talk about these games with my friends who don't have PCs and we all have consoles or whatever, I talk about it as an Xbox exclusive. So it is a console exclusive to me. But if we're gonna get technical, yeah, I don't know. It's dumb. It's just dumb.
Well, I will say this much. So, and I know I'm going back and forth. I'm just seeing so much stuff from Salt here and he's posting on Twitter about Black Ops. I do have to say something about Black Ops 4 and Blackout crap. So this is interesting. And Xbot, shout out to Xbot448 who loves to do this.
What's going on?
What's going? So he's always doing this. He's always using the people around him in his life. He'll do this right. He'll go, this is what they're doing, and that's what society's doing. And I'm like, Xbot. Sometimes it's not always that, but I will say this much. Sometimes you got to keep your ear to the ground. When PUBG came out, and my son's a big Fortnite fan. So these guys are playing Fortnite left and right. That's all they care about. So all of a sudden, right, I'm like, dude, let's play some PUBG. Come on. Let's play some PUBG. Like, nah, that looks, I'm glad you guys, that's cool. No, we're going to play Fortnite. So they'll go play. Then yesterday, I'm playing Blackout. And my son walks by and he sees it and he goes, what are you playing? And I'm like, I'm playing, I didn't even say, I go, I'm playing Call of Duty. He's like, is that new? I'm like, yeah, it's brand new. He goes, well, what are you playing? It doesn't look like it's Team Deathmatch. I'm like, no, it's Battle Royale. It's like Fortnite, but it's Call of Duty. He's like, really? I go, yeah. Boom. Sits right down. PUBG, out the door. All of a sudden, Call of Duty, sat down. He's like, I got to play this. I got to try it. So my point being is, and I don't like that's too small of a sample size, right, guys? I mean, you can't be like, oh, one kid saw it, all of a sudden it's genius. No, that's not it. But I'm saying that I couldn't, for the love of God, talk him into playing PUBG for 15 minutes. But Call of Duty, Battle Royale, and he's on it. I mean, he's playing it. You know what I'm saying? So this is something where you go, where I just saw Salty post, steal some of the spotlight from Fortnite. I don't think Fortnite's in any kind of grave danger. I don't. But I do think that they're going to take a bite out of that audience. And realistically, crap, it starts with the youth and it works your way up. Yeah. That's why Fortnite's success is the youth.
Hey, Failed Pyromancer says PS Now is exclusively on PlayStation services, which that's true, but you need Windows 10 to actually access PlayStation Now. So that that's something that you could definitely keep in mind as well.
What do you think, crap? What's your take on it? Do you think it's an exclusive?
At this point?
Go ahead, Fox.
No, I was saying it's a dumb argument.
Yeah, well, I mean, look, I've always said console exclusive. It doesn't matter. It's all.
I mean, that's what it is to us, right? Because we're playing on console. We don't have PC or whatever.
To me, an exclusive, like as a console gamer, is something that's not on PlayStation or not on Nintendo. Right.
Yo, honestly, it gives me a headache trying to think of this like fine print that these fanboys are throwing out. Oh, it's if it's not on this, it's this and that. And I'm like, do I need to get a lawyer to talk to you guys? Because it feels like it, right?
And if you don't play your games on the hardest level, you're a casual as well.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you gotta keep that in mind as well. So just kind of going forward with that. Hey, this was interesting. I actually wanted to talk about this, and I know we already talked a little bit about Spider-Man, but this is a little bit more than just about Spider-Man. This CNET article says that Spider-Man is the same game we've been playing for the last decade. Wow, right? Like, is the media getting it? I sent this to Mooch when I saw this today. Spider-Man does what every other video game can. And it goes on to say it's a good-looking game, extremely well-crafted.
Yes.
Thought number 2, man, they really nailed the whole swinging through the city like Spider-Man thing. And he says, thought number 3, oh boy, does this video game feel familiar? Extremely familiar. In fact, outside a few key details, Spider-Man feels alarmingly familiar to a lot of other games we've been playing for the last 10 years. Then there's this big commentary for the players. Over the last few years, Sony has done an incredible job of releasing must-play, high-profile exclusives. These exclusives have made the PS4 a must-own console of its generation. There's little competition here. The Nintendo Switch is the new thing that people seem to be going to, but the catch-all handheld that travels well. But if you're sitting in front of a large 4K television looking for high-end, big-budget video game experiences, your best bet is a PS4. So far, positive. Then it mentions Horizon Zero Dawn, God of War, and Spider-Man. These games are all published by Sony, available exclusively on the PS4, but that's not all they have in common. What else? Practically everything. Open world structure, check. Level up system, more suited to traditional RPGs, but shoehorned into an open world experience, check. Skill trees, check. Crafting, check. Spider-Man is very much a Sony video game, and then there's the idea Spider-Man borrows from non-Sony published titles, Assassin's Creed Towers, which unlocks map and side missions, timing-based combat clearly borrowed from Batman Arkham, the trailing mission from Witcher 3. Spider-Man is a game that effectively cobbles everything we've come to expect from a big-budget video game and distills it into one single entity.
Crap, next time you're going to do a story like that this late, why don't you give everybody a warm glass of milk?
Sorry.
Holy shit, was that long?
Hold on. Spider-Man, basically it goes on to say that shouldn't video games do more than just tick boxes? And I agree.
He's right. He's right.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think about that, Mooch? Because
I think we kind of make fun
of the cookie cutter thing, right? Where a lot of it does seem familiar, that over-the-shoulder, open-esque world. A lot of these games, particularly that Sony's coming out with, do tend to look alike. You know, here's the the jungle area and the grass, and here's this area, right? And even though everybody was kind of poking fun of just another Tomb Raider, but you know, when these games like Horizon Zero Dawn, you take out the character from Horizon Zero Dawn and you put in the character from Days Gone, and nobody would know the difference, right? Or even God of War. Nobody. I mean, if there's no dinosaurs, robot dinosaurs, you know, that's very interesting. So I mean, I thought that was an interesting take. Maybe they're starting to wake up a little bit. And that's not the first time I've heard people say, well, Sony's offerings are largely the same. A lot of them play alike and have the same type of, feel to them. So what do you think, Mooch? Come on, man.
That's what I said months ago with the swing to the left, swing to the right. I mean, let's be honest. It's a Spider-Man game. And now, you know, one guy writes something and it's like, you know, everyone's like, hey, that's true. Well, I mean, you know, shout out to Mad Jack. Mad Jack says one guy writes about it doesn't mean it's true. Like, you know, the thing about it
is just his opinion for sure.
It's just his opinion. But I mean, realistically, when it comes down to it, and again, I've been doing every time I do a main quest in Spider-Man, things open up on the map and then I go do all of those. So I'm going through it a little bit slower than everybody else. Plus, also, let's also keep in mind here, I only get about an hour and a half to play every night at most.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's funny, Mooch, not to give spoilers. So we were talking earlier today, and he goes, I really want to start Tomb Raider, but I'm not sure how much longer I have to go on Spider-Man. So he tells me where he's at in Spider-Man. I'm like, dude, you're at the beginning. What the hell have you been doing? He's like, well, I got all the
everything
backpacks.
Else. I got all the backpacks, all the towers, I did all the snapshots. I did all the Kingpin thug zones. I've done every side quest up to date. I've done all the every single what is it called there? Puzzle and scientific equation you do as Peter Parker. Wow. I've done everything on the my map right now. Every time I do a main mission and things light up, I go and do them. So like I'm trying to do everything to platinum the game. So when I said the crap was, I'm like, I'm here. He's like, you got like 8 to 10 hours left of just main mission. I'm like, that doesn't surprise me because I've done all the other shit. Like my Spider-Man dude, for being that early in the mission, because I'm doing everything else. Like I have like a shit ton of suits already. I got a lot of fucking skills. Like I'm kicking people's asses because I'm like doing everything. You know what I mean? Like that's why I mean, like I'm like, for me, the game's almost a little too easy. If you start doing all the side quests and all the Kingpin locations and you do all the findings and all the research, like you get like a ton of those tokens and it's not hard to buy everything. You know, I'm buying a lot of shit. So, I mean, do I have everything? No. But I'm just saying, like, I'm progressing through it. Like, again, I did, listen, speaking of Kingpins, you know, the Kingpin of a PlayStation is Greg Miller. Greg Miller said to play the game this way, so I'm playing it the way he did it. And I mean, I guess I'm enjoying it, but I would prefer to go a little bit. I think tonight after the show tonight, I might just do a couple of main quests so I can catch up a little bit because it's not hard to fly around the city and pick shit up and do stuff. So
yeah, I hear you. So yeah, like I told him, I'm like, dude, you're pretty much at the beginning of the game. You know what I mean? Like he went and did like, I'm like, how could you even like be that close to the beginning of the game still?
Because I'm doing everything else.
I know, but like, man, everything else. Failed Pyromancer says developers have lost some imagination. Companies make what works to make money. Spider-Man a rehash, but it's a well-made rehash. I mean, you're not wrong. There are a lot of issues and bugs and stuff, but that could just happen. I said it originally, right? So at first, it copied a lot that Batman Arkham did, and then when you saw the enemies that were very generic, very much like Batman Arkham, Then you saw the enemies with the brutes like Batman Arkham, and the enemies with the shield like Arkham, and then the shock sticks like Arkham, and then final insult to injury, they got the guys with the laser scope, the snipers, right up in the towers, just like Arkham. And at that point, I was like, man, maybe they took a little bit too much from there, but it is pretty well done. I will say that. There was another one. I think I missed one. Eternal Shada said, Insomniac announced New Game Plus soon and imagine a new feature, first person swinging. That's not my bag, baby. I don't want to do first person swinging. I played the Spider-Man VR thing that they did on PlayStation VR, and it kind of made me sick. Yeah, so I wouldn't want to play Spider-Man in a kind of swing to the left, swing to the right kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's a fine game. I just think it does borrow heavily from other things, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. Salty, what do you think about this? Like, well, you don't have a PS4, so maybe you're not entitled to an opinion about PS4.
Yeah. I was just going to say that. Well, I don't have a PS4 so I can't talk on this. But honestly, when we were talking about Tomb Raider, I was thinking about Spider-Man. I'm like, damn, these people are saying that, Tomb Raider is getting a lower score because it's too much like Tomb Raider. But I'm like, Spider-Man is kind of like the other Spider-Mans. I mean, you're still shooting a web, you're still swinging through the city, you're still, doing some of the same shit.
The difference is those Spider-Man Salty got bad reviews, and this one's getting great reviews.
It's true.
Where the Tomb Raiders were getting great reviews, and now Shadow's getting subpar. Or not subpar, but low 80s. Excuse me.
When you break down all those side things you were doing, I was about to fall asleep. I'm like, searching for backpacks and doing math. I'm like, what is this?
I usually have a choice. I usually like to have an adult beverage when I'm playing video games. When I'm playing Spider-Man, I drink more caffeine because going after 55 backpacks isn't enthralling by no.
I would be the exact opposite of you. I would just go straight through the missions and screw all that.
Well, the reason I'm not,
exactly.
Actually, Crap, answer this for me then. So I'm going to do more story. Shout out to one of the guys in the chat. He was saying the same thing. I'm going to do more of the story missions, but hear me out. Crap, since you finished the game, can you go back now and go get the collectibles, or no? Once you're done, you're done.
Redo the missions or anything like that.
Not the missions, but is your world still lit up with a bunch of the collectibles?
I'm not. I didn't check, so I'm not 100% sure. I know that you can't actually.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, like
I know you can't go do the main missions again, but who cares about that?
You might be able to do some of the stuff in the world. I don't, because I didn't care about any of that stuff. I was just like, let me finish this. Let me, do some of this stuff. You feel
that way. Now, here's what's interesting. We should do like a 60-minute special on Crapgamer. Yeah. You're also not doing the side quests and stuff in Tomb Raider.
No, I don't do side quests.
Sometimes I find side quests to be better than the main mission.
Well, okay, so it was like, it's funny, right? Because it's not a PlayStation or Xbox thing. It's just a me thing. No, so when I played God of War, which I loved, whenever something side questy came up that you didn't have to do, I was like, hey, you know what? That sounds interesting, but I'm not going to do it. You know what I mean? Like I could not be bothered to do that kind of stuff. With the Arkham games, I didn't. The Witcher, I did a couple side things because I knew that they had achievements. And I was like thirsty for some achievements, man. You put so many hours in that damn game and they throw nothing at you. I'm like, please, sir, please give me some achievements, please. Like I'm not a big side quest person. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I didn't really see the point in chasing pigeons. There was also the ones that you do for Harry Osborn or whatever, like the, do the little things, glide through like I did the first one, and I was like, this is stupid. I'm not doing any more of those. And then the Black Cat ones where you got to use the camera. I just passed all those by too. I was like, that's dumb. Like that was my commentary on all this. I was like, that's busy work. That's dumb. Basically, what they did was they put all this stuff in their busy work so that people can, be busy with doing this other stuff.
I mean, it's working. Look at Mooch.
Yeah, Mooch, like
right. And it blows my mind because like Destiny is out and like the Blackout is out and Tomb Raider is like so many things are happening and I'm like, how are you still in one thing?
Here's let me explain it to you, Foxy. Here's the thing. I've made a stance. I told Crap this. I don't know. I think I said it on air once. I'll say it again. I've made a stance. Like I would say maybe I did it around May, and I felt getting overwhelmed end of last year with so many games. Everyone's like, yeah, hurry up, hurry up. Hurry up, hurry up. And it's like, dude, why are we hurrying up? Destiny 2 has its content and it's going to be there for a while. And like, yes, everyone's jumping right now to level up really quick, but I can do that at any point. And the raid comes out next week. But when the raid comes out, people that do the raid the first time, it's 12 hours of people yelling at each other. No, I said stand on the blue circle. No, not blue. I can't see blue. It looks purple. I said blue. And it's like, all right, I don't want to do that for 16 hours, right?
Yeah.
So let them all figure that out. In the meantime, I can finish Spidey. I can finish Tomb Raider. And then I've got basically the month of October to play Destiny. Because like Destiny's not going to, like, no additions are coming till November or something like that. So I got all of October
anyway. So
yeah, except for the 7 million people. But listen,
7 million,
right?
Damn.
There's a shit ton of people playing Forsaken right now, Craps. So before we get into that, let me only defend one question at a time, please. Thank you.
Go ahead, man.
Thank you. I'm on the stand.
Yes.
All right. What I'm trying to say though is, like, realistically, we as YouTubers, I mean, if you're a big channel and you got to get reviews out, you got to hurry up. I got to get my review out. I got to get my review out. I got to get it out. Let me get my review. Take it out. I mean, except for that, it's like, dude, I mean, I'm sorry. I want to enjoy what we all say we enjoy. So I'm going to play Spider-Man. I'm going to enjoy it. And then I'm going to play Tomb Raider and I'm going to enjoy it. And Destiny is not going anywhere. That's what I tell people. When people are like always kind of, people are a little bit like intimidated by Destiny because they're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. There's no way I'm not gonna be able to play. I can't catch up to it. But you really can. And you can catch up. It's called just, if you want to do it, you do it. So
yeah, in your own time.
Right. I'm at light level 420, 421, 422, something like that, whatever it is.
Luca's kicking your butt now. Holy cow.
She is. Yeah, she is. Yeah. And when we both do the raid in 3 weeks, I'll be right where she is. Like, and that's the thing. Like, we can all do it at the same pace. It's just that some people are doing that right now, and then they're going to go play another game. When I'm playing that, they'll take a break from Destiny because they'll be maxed out. So it's 6 and 1/2 dozen the other, folks. So what I'm saying to you is you got to understand that, and I think a lot of the folks that listen to the show that don't buy every game like we do is they're saying, hey, well, that's a you problem, Mooch, because I'm buying this one game this fall and I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't worry about that. But I'm not like, I hear a lot of people say what, like, and Foxy, I know you were just kidding, but you're like, I'm shocked you're doing just that when there's this. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but like, we've got to stop and smell and shout out to So Shady in the chat. You got to stop and smell the roses for a minute and enjoy what you're playing. If I'm just gonna beeline it through a game, I gotta get my review. my review out. And it's like, why are we getting like I speak on I'm on 4 podcasts a week. I give my review daily. Like I don't necessarily feel like reviews out.
I completely agree with you. By the way, it was funny because I was telling my brother, "Oh man, I gotta do Xbox Nation. I gotta stop Tomb Raider." He's like, "Tell them you're making a video and you can't go on the show." And I was like, "They know I don't do reviews. I'm not Crap Gamer. Okay, listen."
Well, that's not. So I gotta be on. But it's not a crap. I mean, don't get me wrong. If that is what if you get the code, I think if you get the game a week or 2 early, and you get the chance to play it ahead of time. Absolutely. Like get just like what Crap said about a game. When your review's ready, put it out.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I gotta speed through this thing. I didn't even eat yesterday. And it's like, dude, nobody's like waiting at GameStop. Like, listen, dude, just give me that copy right there, but don't ring me out yet. I gotta wait. Crap's gonna do something tomorrow. I'm gonna wait right here in GameStop. Don't put that copy down. Don't put it down. Hold it right there. I'm waiting for the review. Like nobody's waiting. Like
everybody's waiting for the Crap.
I picked on you, Crap, because you're in here. I don't mean you. Yes. But I mean like Mooch, anybody. Hold on, wait, no. Don't hit the buy button. Don't do it. Mooch's review's coming out next week. Like, it's like everybody's gotta calm down with the reviews and enjoy the game. Everybody that does reviews is also doing podcasts.
Yeah.
Like one person, I get a lot of review copies of like the indie games, Crap, you know that.
Yeah.
And I talk about them. We talked about Dead Cells on Crossfire. We talk about I make sure that I always put it in.
It's not bad actually.
It's very good. Yeah. Very good. But I mean,
Salty streaming it. Awesome.
I don't necessarily. Yeah, Salty's been doing a hell of a job with it.
Strange Brigade, not bad either.
Spider-Man, I'm sorry, I'm yelling. But anyway,
there it is.
I think realistically, everyone loves that. That's like if you guys ever like Primus, that was like a band in the 90s that was big.
Yeah,
Primus. Like they told all
they
their
did a
audience,
weird video where they look like mannequins or something, right?
I don't know about that. All I know is their thing when you go to a concert of theirs is people yell out Primus sucks, which is great. So they're yelling,
I can
Primus
relate.
sucks, but it's like they like Primus anyway.
Yeah. Oh, I can't relate then.
No, it's different. It's different.
But for a second, I was like, man,
you're like, oh, you're like that's like my story on YouTube.
Yeah.
Listen,
people are like, I started up this thing and I got 100 dislikes. That's rad.
Yeah, these are one of the things that it grinds my gears sometimes when people are like, well, when you need a review up, Mooch, and I'm like, I talk about it in pieces, like on Xbox Nation, Crossfire. We talk about it at MNC. People call in and ask us, and it's like, I don't think necessarily you have to have a 7-minute review with a numerical score at the end to be the official review. I think people know very well how I feel on different sets of games, and I think they feel that way about Foxy and Salty. Everybody. Yeah. I'm not speaking just for me. I'm speaking for all of us. I think we all do. So
the Don, he says 3.6 million active users on Destiny, Mooch.
Hey, that not bad, Don.
Yeah,
not bad.
I mean, not bad.
I pulled 7 out of a hat, so 3.6 ain't bad.
He pulled it out of a hat,
literally.
Okay, so Battlefield 5. I did want to touch on this a little bit. Okay, so the beta's still going on. I gotta say, the beta kind of sold me on the game a little bit more, but what's interesting is, even though people are like, this had nothing to do with the low pre-orders and stuff, it does look like EA's backing down from some of the unauthentic Battlefield 5 customizations. They said, we heard the community. We're still looking at World War II through DICE's lens, right? But how forward, how crazy we got with some of that. We heard the community and we understand that there were some concerns about where's the authenticity. We want players to be excited about customizing their characters with gear. We dialed it back a bit. So because it was pretty crazy, we want to offer some authentic World War II stuff. So that's very interesting, right? Like, because originally they're like, it's a video game. You like what we tell you to like, buy it, but don't buy it. We don't care. We're EA and DICE and we do what we want to do. Right. So that was their original take. And now they're like, whoa. You know, we hear you guys weren't too happy with being able to have, you know, robot arms and legs and, you know, and a jetpack.
And tits in your character.
Yes, exactly. Well, I don't know. Like, I think that's fine, Fox. Like, I don't think anybody's.
This is a what? What?
I don't know about that, but okay.
What about man boobs?
Man boobs. Oh, okay, that works. I'm not surprised that they're doing that. Obviously, they want their game to sell. They want people to play their game. So yeah, they're gonna dial it back, and I'm not surprised about that. But I didn't have an issue with what I saw before. I still, as long as it's Battlefield and I can play it how I'm used to playing it with new features. And maybe some customization, sure, why not? But I'm not surprised.
Well, no, Foxy rocks the guy character too, so she don't even got to worry about that, to be honest with you. But
yep, I can do both.
Exactly. Yep. See, I don't care about being a girl in the game, but I did think that maybe, you know, chill out with like the rocket boosters and, you know, you don't need any of that, whatever.
What are you talking about? There was no such thing.
Oh, they had some funky looking stuff on those people. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they had a prosthetic arms and legs probably, and paint, like war paint and stuff like that, which they did have back then.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't see a ton of people walking around with that, though,
only certain like I think squats. Anyway, I'm not gonna get into that. Yeah. I like the beta though. As long as they listen, because there was bugs in there. As long as they listen to the community and the feedback. As long as they fix it, I'm going to be playing that multiplayer.
Yeah,
that's
like
what I want.
One of the main bugs was my gun made no sound. There's no sounds. There's no silencer on it. It just, I'm shooting it, nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
There's many times I was next to people and I would look over and I see them firing and I'm like, oh, I don't hear shit. But I'm like, oh, okay, walk away.
Hashtag Battlefield.
Hey man, come on, dude, it's a beta.
That is not Battlefield.
It comes out it was supposed to come out in a week and a half. Get out of here.
Yeah, that's just a beta, man. Come on.
I'm really glad they delayed it, but I still had fun with it.
Yeah, I like. You know what? I gotta say, I like it. I like the beta a lot.
I was surprised that you liked it, Crap, because the matches were long, and I know you don't care for that.
Yeah, the matches were long, and then I'd dive, and I'd be like, "Who's shooting me?" And then it'd be like, you know, then I turn around and. Hey, I gotta say,
somebody I know said that a while ago.
Hey, no planes crashed on me, Mooch. I gotta say that. Yeah, so
same.
Right, that's good.
Yeah,
75-minute matches. You don't know who killed you. Hurry up over here! Dead. Where do I spawn in? Where do I spawn in? Fox, where are you? I don't know. I can't help you right now, Mooch. I'm under attack. I don't know where I am. What's going on? 64 people. 64 people. It's like, come on. What the hell's going on? That was literally a reenactment of Battlefield.
Hey, they should replace
I love it.
all the sound effects with Mooch effects now. Yeah. I mean, it needs realism, right? No, I love that, man. That's funny though. I like it though. I think Mooch, when it comes out to EA Access, you should try it and see what's up with it. You know, see if it's something.
Oh, did you ever play the beta, Mooch?
No, I did not. It's still available for another 6 weeks though, so I'll get into it.
I'm still proud of you, Salty. At least you tried it. I'm proud of you.
Yeah,
what does Salty think?
Hey, honestly, I'm gonna hold my tongue because I could get real. Salty. I don't know.
Hey, you were nice to me about it. What do you mean?
No. Here's the deal. It was better than I thought it was, but I'm talking about like DICE in general and some of the dumb shit they're doing and you know all that. Yeah. We won't get into it because it gets really triggering, I guess. So I'll just hold my tongue.
It's a touchy subject.
Yes, it is. It's a family show. So, with that being said, let's. I know what we can speed run through. This was interesting to me that there's an Alan Wake TV series coming.
Yeah.
I mean, this is cool. Do you think that this could possibly spark interest in a new Alan Wake game from Microsoft, or do you think this makes a better show than it does a game, and Microsoft doesn't care?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, anything, movies turn into games, and generally games turn into movies, or TV shows don't generally do very well.
Yeah.
But I mean, if it's got the if it's got the correct writing, Alan Wake's got the legs. I'm also just as concerned with The Witcher 3. I mean, if that's got the money and the writing, it can be very good, but typically these things are fighting an uphill battle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What about you, Fox? Are you an Alan Wake fan? Are you
You know I am. I know. And the first thing I thought when I saw this on Twitter earlier was, what? Why did they do this earlier? What the fuck? Okay. Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of late, but if it is good, if they do it right, then yeah, of course I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna check it out. But I'm just gonna want another game from them, and I don't know if they're wanting or willing to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't know and also, what if it's bad? That sucks. They're not gonna do anything for Alan Wake ever again, I feel. So it could go either way, actually. But also, why are they doing this now? Why didn't they do this before? What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm hoping that this is successful and brings interest to it, and then Microsoft says, hey, you know what? Let's go ahead and maybe do something. You know what I mean?
Do something that we've asked for a long time now.
Exactly. Salty, what about you? Are you an Alan Wake fan? What do you think about this?
Like I said in chat, Remedy needs a remedy for mediocre games that they're pushing out. And didn't we already get a TV show in Quantum Break that didn't do too well? So
that Quantum Break TV show was great, man. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. I love that.
So anyway, watch out,
bro. Watch out. Careful what you say right there.
I'll pass on the Quantum Break spinoff TV show, whatever it is.
Yeah, and you know what? Hey, thanks everybody for watching. Hit that like button. We're almost 250. Let's do it, man. Let's do it, not for me, but for the ponies, right? They you hit that like button for the ponies. They need a little love too. So please, let's do that. Mooch, what do we got going on? Probably something tomorrow and the next day.
Yes. Why not? Let's just make it a 3-day event. Crap. We've got MNC evenings on your channel tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
And then we've got Crossfire 7 p.m. Eastern time. I hope I see everybody that was donating in the super chat to come by the Mooch 78's channel. Hit that subscribe button. Apparently, Crap says there's a little bell next to that subscribe button.
There is, and if you hit the bell, then you get notified of actual stuff. Now, sometimes that works, sometimes it don't. I was showing Mooch the other day. I got notified of MNC like 4 days later, so I missed it.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's like when you said that to me, I got a Rocky Balboa image in my head of I hear no bell. So like realistically, exactly. I think that there's a problem there. But I would like to say, everybody, definitely go check out the channel. subscribe, all that good stuff. There are more videos. I'm going to be doing videos come October. Mooch is going to be building that PC soon.
Wow, that's going to be
great. With sound effects and everything. I'll record them and see what I can do for you guys.
Oh,
those will definitely be in there. Yes. Those will definitely be in
Crossfire. And it's not my bag, baby. Yes,
they'll all be around. Trust me. No, crap. It'll be we got a good week leading into the weekend. Lots of games played.
Exactly. Let's see, and we also have Salty. What do you got going on, man?
Hey, we got the Saltiest Gaming podcast tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then I started a new series called Gaming Daily News with Saltiest Gaming. So those are like 30-minute things. So that'll be Friday.
Nice.
Follow me on Twitter if you want to get triggered. Saltiest Gaming, I is a 1.
Oh, definitely, man. Definitely appreciate that. And Foxy, what do you got going on? I know you dropped a video tonight too.
Hell yeah, I did a video, and I'm working on another one, which is all my thoughts, the good and the bad, about Battlefield Beta. It's just taking me a little bit because obviously we got all these games. I was playing Spidey. I was doing unboxing videos, so check out my channel. Leave me some cool comments, and let's get out of here because I want to play Tomb Raider right now. Okay, bye.
I hear you. And with that, we'll catch you guys later. Don't forget M&C Salty's podcast tomorrow as well. We'll catch you later. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day and rack 'em up later.